All right, guys, what is up? Coach Joe here at elitefts, and I'm back with another pressing video. So if you haven't watched my pressing tutorial, make sure you watch that. I'm sure they'll link it up somewhere here. But in this video, we're gonna be covering 3 pressing variations that's gonna help build size and strength for your shoulders. So if you guys didn't know much about me, I love pressing. I'm kind of more of a pressing specialist, and I have put a lot of weight overhead. So I've push pressed 315 pounds for 10 plus reps. I put 425 pounds over my head using jerk variations, and I have a good amount of experience when it comes to pressing. So the first variation that we're gonna cover is gonna be the push press. I absolutely love push pressing. Reason I love push pressing is because it allows us to overload the movement. And what I mean by that is it's gonna allow us to push more weight overhead than we would if we were doing a strict press, for example. So say my max strict press was 200 pounds. Well, guess what? When I do this push press, I'm gonna allow myself to use leg drive, and I'm gonna be able to basically overload the movement. So put more weight overhead. I'm gonna be able to push through those sticky points with my legs. And I think if you incorporate this pressing variation into your routine, it's only gonna help your shoulders grow, not only in strength, but also size. So I'll give a quick little demo of how we do this, and then we'll move on to the next one. All right, guys, so when it comes to the push press, everybody has different opinions on where you should put your grip. I'm more of a closed grip kind of guy, but that's just me. So you can watch my videos or other videos and figure out what works best for you. So I'm gonna put my hands just where I'm comfortable. Okay, I'm gonna take the bar off the rack. When I'm in this position, normally I'm just showing you a strict press is when we're here and we drive the bar straight up, right, like so. Okay, that's a strict press. We're gonna be limited so much by our shoulders there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the dip. So the dip is basically where I'm driving my knees out, okay? Not forward, but they're driving out while I'm keeping my chest upright, and I'm gonna use my legs to drive up, all right? So once again, there's a dip and then a drive. So one more time, we dip down and we drive up, okay? So like I said before, that's gonna allow us to put a lot of weight overhead. It's gonna allow us to strengthen our shoulders even more so than other variations, and just overload the movement. So that's gonna be my first variation that you should be doing if you're trying to increase the size and strength of your shoulders. Let's get on to variation number 2. All right, guys, so variation number 2 is gonna be a banded strict press. Now, the reason I like the banded strict press is because now we have accommodating resistance. So there's gonna be tension basically trying to push that bar down as we're trying to drive through it. So if you are looking for a variation that is calling for constant tension, constant force, and rate of force development, this is going to be a great variation to do. So that's why I like using it. It also really helps strengthen weak points because you have to drive through those weak points, okay? So all we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with whatever band tension you guys are comfortable with, throwing it on the bar. Okay, we'll take it out of the rack, like so, and you can already feel that tension, and now we have to accelerate through, okay, as we bring the bar up over our head. So I'm pushing through that constant tension and back down, driving up, back down, pushing through, back down, just like so. So that's gonna be my second variation I recommend you guys. And the way I kind of like to program these variations is, say you have your day 1, which is gonna be your strict press, okay? It's gonna be your main compound variation. Do that then. Then on day 2, you can throw in one of these variations. So maybe I'll do a banded strict press. And then on day 3, which I'm gonna explain in a second, you can do another variation that's gonna require dumbbells, have a little bit more volume, and not cause as much systemic fatigue, but allows more overall volume to be pumped to the shoulder. So let's get on to exercise number 3. All right, guys, number 3 on my list is gonna be the seated neutral grip dumbbell overhead press. That's a mouthful. But I like doing this, and I typically will keep this towards the end of the week because, like I said, I have my main compound overhead movement. Then I do a variation of that to hopefully strengthen weak points. And then I'll do this to basically just get a pump, flush extra blood to the muscle and more volume. So you guys can pick whatever dumbbells you want, all right? And we're gonna be right here, so we're in that neutral position. So this would be like a normal, regular overhead press position. Here we're going neutral, okay? So just turning those wrists a little bit, and we're just gonna drive straight up, straight back down, okay? Straight up, straight back down, just like this, cranking them out. And over time, I really find that it's helped build strong and well-developed shoulders. So we're trying to hit the shoulders from different angles, and I'll talk about that as kind of like my last tip. These are my 3 variations, but I will summarize the last kind of key point here at the end. But for these, I like to be higher volume. I like to be anywhere in that 10 to 15 rep range for 3 to 4 sets, just flushing a lot of blood, like I said, to those muscles and helping us gain size and strength. So I think between those 3 variations and what I'm about to say next, you'll be able to really develop strength and size to the shoulders. Okay, so I gave you guys my 3 pressing variations that I love. There are tons of ones that are out there, but those I think are a great place to start, so try those out. Now, the last thing I want to talk about when it comes to strength and size is going to be the added extra volume to the shoulders. What I mean by that is hitting different sides of the shoulder or the heads of the shoulder. So we kind of ended with a dumbbell neutral grip press, right? But what I think you should incorporate and a lot of athletes neglect is going to be their rear delts. So by hitting rear delt work, whether it's rear delt flies or whatever you want to use, any machine that hits the rear delts, I think that's really going to complete the package when it comes to strengthening the shoulders and increasing the size of the shoulders. You can also hit the lateral head, okay, so the outside head of the shoulder here, by doing different raises or using machines that help with that muscle, but throw those in as well. And typically, I like to throw those in towards the end of the week or towards the end of a workout, just to kind of blast that muscle and finish everything up. So that's kind of where I'm going to conclude this video, is throwing those variations. Make sure you're not neglecting the little parts of the shoulder and get a lot of extra volume in there throughout the week. And you should definitely, by the time you're done doing this, have bigger and stronger shoulders. So that's all I got, guys. Hopefully you liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to their channel, check out all the other stuff they have on shoulders, or check out my channel, whatever you want to do for all the pressing tips and tricks. And I just really appreciate you guys watching this far, and hopefully you guys implement these tactics and get after it with your training.